All right, guys, we are back with round 2 Edison Format at Epik Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We got the Sheriff on the left playing Machina QuickDraw versus the Tiger King Javi on the right playing his signature Reckless GB deck. This tournament is 4 rounds of Swiss, cut to top 8. I believe both these guys won round 1, so we'll see who move on with a 2-0 record. So it looks like Los went first. Lone Fire is in Titanium, so it looks like he opened double Lone Fire. So the other one is in his hand. No back rows and passes to Javi. Okay. Now, these two guys are competing in War League this season. They're my team, so if you guys want to check out these two competing in War League, please consider joining our members only. Only $2.99 a month. The link's in the description. And here, Javi starts out by summoning the cat. Bring out Sam Knight and let's see what else. Javi playing on his RBET New York Top 16 Top Cut mat. Los also topped in RBET, topped Orlando a couple years ago. But people always ask me about Los. Los doesn't travel as much as I do, or even Javi. Javi's been to a couple events this year. I know he went to Indy. Anyway, double Sam Knight into Test Tiger, brings out Murmillo. He's going to negate the Murmillo. Then Javi attacks with Sam Knight. Now let's see what do you bring out here. A quest, recycle the Murmillo. Now, who do I want to see win here? Comes upside. I'm a root for Los because on this particular day, we actually had 18 players. That's why we had 4 rounds cut to top 8. And for whatever reason, we had like 5 or 6 GB players and like 5 or 6 Lightsworn players. Anyways, here it's Gear Frame, Lone Fire, Ryko, Dandy, Heavy, D Prison. So here comes Heavy. Oof. See, this is why, like, yeah, Javi's getting blown out by Heavy Storm either way, but I'd almost rather it be Yada or Jar. I'm just not sold on Reckless. And I've been telling Javi that for a while. So I myself, like, trust me, I love Reckless. I've tried it in Black Wings, and it's just the decks can't do enough to play that card, in my opinion. Now, I know later on in like 2013, when people started playing Reckless, that's because the decks can make insane boards turn 1. Anyways, here he Rykos, gets rid of the Hoplamus, mills Gear Frame, Bottomless, and the Chibi Gores. See, now also he's locked on his draw. I mean, they're even in cards. But Los did win the die roll, but he's going to tag out the quest. So, you know, he's got what? Dandelion, Lone Fire in his hand, right? Because you sent back the Gear Frame. So he goes Retiari, probably trying to snipe. Trying to make his Avarice not as good, but... So he chooses the Lone Fire, set 1, and pass. Set, pass. Okay, turn 2, skip on Reckless. Now here comes Murmillo. Retiari attack the Dandelion. Brings out the Tom Brady, Mike Evans token, so he runs over the other token. And here Los is going to activate Call Target Titanium. Yes, Call Target Titanium. What does he have? And what does Javi have in response? So no response. I'm guessing he's doing it at the end of the battle phase. Now tag out Murmillo. So yes, we know Los's last card is Lone Fire in hand, right? So what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Get a quest? A quest, recycle Chariot. So again, I played in this tournament as well. You guys saw me play round 1 with Diva Hero, and so we're playing at Epik. We're playing with the new time rule, which is 50 minutes, double match loss. And again, I have not seen it happen. Like, no one's gotten a double match loss. So I kind of think we should play with. I like the new time rule in Edison. Now it might be bad in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, but in Edison I think 50 minutes is enough. Like unless there's a ruling dispute, almost no one ever goes past 50 minutes unless if they're just playing really slow. Like I haven't had it happen. So Los is gonna negate the Bestiari. Now he tags out. Now it looks like Javi wants to tag out the Retiari for let's see what Javi decides to go for. Yeah, if you guys don't, I guess, yeah, if you guys, these two actually played week 1 in War League, and they played these exact same decks. So he goes Darius, target Bestiari. Yeah, so I think Los is confused with the way it works when you bottomless. So I think if you bottomless the Darius, Bestiari gets special summon and it gains its effect. That's why you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to like bottomless the Bestiari when the Bestiari hits the board, and you wait for them to target. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. I've been confused in the past the way this works as well. So he targets the call. Chain book. Okay. Target the call, chain book. I guess they're wondering if he can like chain the back row, if he's gonna negate with Titanial. I think they're getting into a ruling dispute here. This is a close game. I think it could go either way. Now, is this a correct move? So he bottomless the Bestiari, is going to lose. Okay, it's looking Los has the top deck. Something. Pot of Avarice, Debris Dragon. So Los has a few outs. Yes, he has a few outs. Debris. Gear Frame's a heck of a draw. Yeah, he has a lot of outs. I think he's at least on 2 Avarice. 3 Gear Frame, that's 5. 2 Debris Dragons at least. So he has 7 cards. He has many, many outs. Card Trooper's an okay draw. Now, I believe Javi skipped both his draw phases, but I'm not paying too close attention whether or not he skips his draw phases. That's why, like, it's both players' responsibility to keep track of that. So, okay, so he gets the Dandelion. Yeah, it's looking promising for Javi. He's going to run over the Dandy and one of the tokens. Tags out. A quest. Recycle back the Chariot. Darius. At least you don't have to worry about Bestiari for the rest of the game. Probably Laquari in case, because like if you have Chariot, what are Los's outs? Now we don't know what card Los drew for his turn. But to this board, I think Avarice is a good draw. Okay, Los sets one. I guess Mirror Force. So we know he doesn't have Mirror Force. Attack. So yeah, he maybe drew Trap Stun. He could have Torrential. Yeah, so this is the... What are you afraid of Torrential, Javi? That's the question. You can see here, that's what he's debating on. Are you afraid of Torrential, Bottomless? Because he couldn't stop any of your attacks. Do you just let him... Do you force him to flip the Torrential? Oof. See, I don't think I would tag out. Unless if you can handle the Torrential. Is it worth it to go for a Ready Ari? Unless if you're getting a +1. If you're going to like a quest. So he goes for the Darius. Oof. I would have been a little afraid of Torrential if I was Javi, but That's just me. That doesn't look like he has torrential either. But sometimes one thing is that people give away stuff, and maybe Javi read that he doesn't have the just body language and stuff that some people can pick up on. Like I remember, like when I was playing in top 8 of the RBT in Denver, and I think my opponent read that I didn't have anything. Like I was just like just cooked. I was so cooked the second game, and he just didn't fear my back rows at all. So yeah, sometimes some people will be able to read your body language, and at least in person on DB, that's the one flaw of DB is like you can't really read your opponents that well. All right, so it was Dust Tornado, and it's up to Javi if he wants to negate. Now we know he has Chariot, so he does negate it to protect his Chariot, and then here comes Debris, Chariot, leaving Los with 1 card. Ooh, but is his last card Gores? No? Okay, so it's looking promising. Oh, so he drew a Machine. Attack, Crash, 18. Okay, so they're both basically top decking. So, Los attacks. No Gores from Javi. He needs like a GB and a Test Tiger. Now, what would Los set? I think he's back on the Raikos in Machina QuickDraw. Is he even playing QuickDraw? We haven't even seen QuickDraw, so he's top decks another Gear Frame, and that should be game. He just got to search for, so Javi. So, like, I guess good thing Javi went for the Herc, because if he didn't go for the Herc, yes, if he didn't go for the Herc, he would have got Los would have went Dust, and then Black Rosed him. Like I said, I would have been a little afraid of Torrential, but I don't blame him for going for it. Yeah, sometimes you gotta go for it and hope that your opponent didn't top deck the Torrential, because like you knew he didn't have Mirror Force or Deep Prison. So like I said, in that scenario, the only thing I would have been, I don't blame him for going for it. Like I said, I just would have been afraid of Torrential, but sometimes you gotta take those risks. Alright, so game 2. Will Javi pull off the Legacy 2-0 and move on with a 2-0 record in this tournament that we had, I think, 5 GB players. I'm trying to think of all the GB players we had. But here comes Cool Wave. So he Cold Wave Test Tigers. And is going to bring out Sekitor. So he's going to definitely bring out Bestiari here. Maybe Laquari. Okay, but I want to mention all the GB players we had. So we had 18-man tournament. Might have been 19, actually. No, I think it was 19. Yes, we had 19 players on this particular day. And Javi was on GBs. Yobani was on GBs. Dirty Dan was on GBs. Rocky was on GBs. Edwin was on GBs. So at least 5 GB players. That's more than a fourth of the tournament was GBs. And as far as Light Swarm players, we had, I think, 3, maybe more. Yeah, we had quite a few Light Swarm players. Anyways, here Los special summons Fortress. So Javi can't activate his back row because of Cold Wave. And does he have another Test Tiger? This is why Cold Wave is so broken. It's like you can't even set your back rows to protect yourself the following turn. That's why that card got banned. Like it would be a little bit better if it was more like a trap stun where it only works to like during your turn. But then it's like, oh, you can't fight back during your turn either. That's why that card is broken. So yeah, I had a feeling Javi had another Test Tiger because he left the GBs up. Don't tell me about the triple Test Tiger. Oh my god. Oh, and then he's normal summoning. Oh yeah. See guys, this is why I gave him the nickname the Tiger King. And he didn't even upstart, he didn't even respite, he didn't even reckless greet him. He just straight up drew all 3 of his Test Tigers. Maybe it's those ultimates, man. Yeah, it must be those ultimates. So he hits with Sekitor. And this is an interesting ruling that I didn't know. Apparently, I think if you Secutor and you have, like, in this situation, you see Javi has one spot open. Apparently, from what I was told, you throw one in the graveyard, and then I think that's how it works. But I'm not a GB player, so here he pops his Murmillo, pops his own Murmillo. Is he gonna use Secutor's effect? Oh, he's gonna tag out Geyseris first. Yeah, this is a... Like, I don't know what the best play here is. I've seen some GB players make all sorts of crazy plays. Alright, so here comes a quest. I think it was one guy. I forgot what he did. It was on DB. Okay, so quest, ready Ari. Yeah, so this is the ruling where they're getting into it with the ruling with Secutor. So since his field is clogged, from what we looked it up, and Javi's telling them now you bring one out and the other one goes to the graveyard. Lowe's doesn't know either, but Javi knows a lot of these GB rulings because he's been playing this deck forever. Yeah, that's why you can see Lowe's. So he brings out the Laquari, Test Tigers, the Ready Ari. He's going to Ready Ari him again. Yeah, because I don't think he has anything to grab back from the graveyard. He's probably going to Ready Ari him again. Get rid of both the fortresses. It's tough when they get rid of your fortresses. Like, I've lost games because people have when I'm playing Machina QuickDraw or the standard Machina Hamster Raikou deck, people will like soul release me or karma cut my fortress, and then I have no way to recycle it. It'll cost me games. So okay, Respite. Yeah, Javi's cooking. He's gonna add on like Herc, a quest, 3 cards in hand. Oh, he Respites him again. I know people don't like Respite, but me, I would play it. If I were to ever run GBs, I would play Respite and Upstart, but no Reckless. Reckless is the one card that I wouldn't play. But I will admit, when you draw 2 of them, the card's ridiculous. And that's Javi's argument on Reckless, is because since he has so much draw power. But what are the... Still, though, a lot of the... You're not always going to see double Reckless. Most of the time, you're going to see 1. Right, so he brings out Herc in defense and passes to Los. So here he pitches Force for Fortress. Runs over a quest. Now he's going to set 3. Set a monster, but this is fine because Javi has Herc. And here comes Reckless Greed. Does he have 2 of them? Let's see. Javi's theory. Reckless. Comes Upstart. And here comes Heavy. And Los just picks up his cards. He concedes to Heavy Storm. So we are going to game 3. Who will move on with a 2-0 record in this tournament? The Sheriff or the Tiger King? Again, I'm rooting for Los because, again, we had 5 GB players. Basically a fourth of the tournament. Because we had 19 players was on Gladiator Beast. And I don't know why. I think because normally, like, Yobani usually plays GBs. Javi usually plays GBs. Now, it's because Daniel was originally a GB player, but he went back to GBs. And then Edwin switched to GBs, and then Rocky out of nowhere showed up with GBs, so that's why we had 5. So if you're playing like Amaryllis or Frogs, and you come to Epik, you're going to have a hard time on Thursdays. The GB players come out on Thursday. I remember Sal, he would joke that, yeah, that's why he's like, I don't want to come play Edison on Thursdays because there's too many GB players. He's like, I'll go on Saturdays. I think he was just joking, but it's true. I mean, most of the time I don't play decks that lose to GBs, except when I play Frogs, because like the Vayu GB matchup, I think is, I would say Vayu slightly favored, and the Blackwing matchup is also slightly favored, but it's not. They're not free. They're not free at all. All right, so Los Javi sets 3 after Upstart, Respite, Upstart, and Low sends on Lone Fire, Titanial. Not the Oscar special, but all right. So he attacks with Lone Fire, Mirror Force. No Mirror Force. You don't even want a D prison right here. One Dandelion is gone. Is the other Dandelion in his hand? Or maybe he's playing around Torrential. Okay, no. So the other Dandelion is in his deck. So now he's got, yeah, pretty intimidating board. But if Javi has like War Chariot, he can stop the Titanial. But you have to worry about his back rows. Tribute for Caius. Chainlink 1 Dandy, Chainlink 2 Caius. Yeah, see, in Edison, the Dandelion has to be Chainlink 1 because they're both mandatory, right? Caius is mandatory. Dandelion is mandatory. But in modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, graveyard effects don't have to be Chainlink 1. So he could chain block where like you would make Caius Chainlink 1, Dandy Chainlink 2. So here, Javi chains Transmigration Prophecy. Oh, this is another ruling. He'll still get the tokens. Again, if this was modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, he would not get the tokens. He's using the other Lone Fire. Oh, because Javi put the Dandelion in his deck. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't see how Javi wins this game. He has to deal with it. He can't. I think it depends on Los's back rows, and if Javi has a War Chariot. Yeah, Javi could break this board, but not with Gores. Now, how do I feel about Gores in Javi's deck? Most of the time, I don't think it's good. So I'm guessing he test Tiger for Bestiari. Now, does Javi have the War Chariot? Or is he negating Test Tiger's effect? Let's see if he has the War Chariot. No, Javi, you know you're in trouble when you have to read your opponent's card. You got the Chariot, man. And Javi just concedes. So Los is moving on with a 2-0 record. Now, let's see if either of my 2 War League teammates are returning for this tournament. Okay, not round 3. Are they coming back round 4? Nope. Top 8? Okay. So, yes, Los will be returning. Now, as far as Javi goes, I think Javi lost in... Javi didn't make top 8, but I can't remember whether he lost in top 8 or the top 4. But he's not... He won't be returning, but he did make top cut. Los will be returning. I won't spoil when. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, please consider joining our members only. Only $2.99 a month. Links in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.